Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Jennifer O'Neill, and you are on Hawaii Psychic Radio. And I just want to take a call real quick. Is this Rikka?
It is.
Hi, Rikka. I'm sorry, audience. I just wanted to check with her. She's in New Zealand, correct?
Yep, and I finally got through.
Okay, I just wanted to double check and make sure that was you, just because I know you're on a different time zone, different day, and that sort of thing. Super excited to have you today. I just wanted to let everybody, I want to let everybody know what's happening because we made a switch to get you into the show. And so what's happening is the normal show for today, for all the regular listeners who I normally do readings for, we're going to have Rikka on today, and she does some amazing work similar to mine. And I found that very ironic that you had written a book very similar to mine recently. And so we're going to have her talking about love and money. And so if you do want to have readings, Rikka doesn't do those, so we won't be taking readings. However, I am running a special that you can just do a 10-minute reading on my website, hawaiihealings.com, for a ridiculous reasonable price, and it's only running Monday or Tuesday. So if you still want a reading, go to hawaiihealings.com. Otherwise, we are going to just sponge up knowledge from Rikka and see what she has to offer you guys. Aloha, Rikka.
Aloha, Jennifer, and aloha, everybody out there. How did I get so lucky to be playing with you guys this morning? I wonder what magic we can create.
I know. This is so awesome. I'm very excited to have you on the air. Just for all the listeners, would you mind just giving a brief intro to what you do and who you are and what's happening, and then we'll discuss some of the things that you're doing in Hawaii?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, how fun. So, what we're going to be talking about this morning, for me anyway, is love and money. And we're going to be using these tools from Access Consciousness. Now, Access Consciousness is basically your own toolkit to change anything. So it's kind of like tools and processes and clearings to allow you to get out of your own way. Because how many of you guys would love to have a relationship or love or money show up, but you tend to actually stop yourself? And what if it was time to stop stopping you?
Well, I want to put in there, too, I think, and this is so perfect for this show, people call in, and I psychically can see that they're stopping themselves, but I think a lot of them don't realize they are or understand how to stop stopping themselves. And that's what hopefully you can give them a little bit of an insight and then tell a little bit more about your stuff too. So keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's great. Exactly. Well, because the thing is, what if each of us are the only ones powerful enough to stop us? And what if each of us are the only ones powerful enough to set us free? So, and what's brilliant about Access Consciousness is it's about asking you questions so that you can know what you know. Because the thing is, when you're asked a question, you can't help but know what's true for you. And the question will always empower the person who's being asked a question to know what they know and to open the door to awareness and receiving. So, and with these asking questions, it's kind of like, for me, I had done therapy and I was really felt quite broken and felt wrong about everything and was trying to be right about everything because I felt so wrong and had a bunch of past history stuff that I was stuck in and just kind of the normal bag of goodies in this reality. And my therapist was telling me stuff and I'm like, wait a second, I know more about my life than you do. How come you're not asking me any questions? And then I found Access Consciousness and it was like, wow, they're asking me questions so that I can awaken to the infinite being that I am, so that I can know what I know. And what's also brilliant about Access is they have this thing called the clearing statement, which is basically a key code, like a short amount of words, for a few pages of questions to actually unlock the energy. to undo the limitation and to get you out of your own way.
Well, and I know that you have like access bars, and they're going to be doing free access bars or something in Honolulu at the Mind Body Spirit Expo. But in order to get people more familiar and heading that direction, what would you say are some of the most, I'm going to start with money, because I get a flood of calls over people who are out of work right now. And I notice that they're looking in the wrong direction. They're not tapping into where they need to go. That's a whole nother show. That's my show. This is your show. So as I'm right?
Well, this is our show, Jennifer. At the moment.
So I want to see from your perspective, what do you think that the most common blocks that people are giving themselves with money, and what are some of the things that you guys work with them on to get them, clearing themselves out or stopping it, as you would say?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the most valuable tools in Access Consciousness, and it's one of the beginning tools, and it can potentially change a whole bunch of stuff for you, is actually asking, who does this belong to? For every thought and feeling and every energy for basically 3 days. Now, the thing is, what if you are way more psychic and aware than anything you can even imagine? What if you're like infinitely aware? And
and everybody is. They all are. They just don't think about it, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like everyone's walking around as this psychic aware being, but what people think is they read somebody else's information and they just think it's theirs. So they
Correct.
don't actually know that they're reading someone else's information. Now, you get to know Jennifer because you're like, this is what I do. So you're like, oh, yeah, I see all this stuff. And then you tell them and they confirm it. And it's like, oh, okay, this is my awareness. So what if 98% of the thoughts in your head actually don't belong to you? What if you're picking up on all the transmissions from the world around you? Now, why would this have any...
You are just like, it's so weird. We're like twin souls, I swear. I love this coming from somebody. I love this coming from somebody else, because you're right. You're doing exactly because I teach the same sort of stuff. And so this is valuable information. Everybody really needs to listen to what she just said on the 98% of potential thoughts or things, and they're usually like fears or worries or these things, not really being your own thoughts. Go ahead and elaborate on that. That's excellent.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and I'm so happy that you've been facilitating this information. That is so awesome. How cool are you? So literally, like, what if 98% of the thoughts in your head don't belong to you? It's like, what if you're more like a satellite dish that's picking up on information from all around you at all times? Now, how many of you have thought about somebody and they've called? All of us, right?
Yeah.
How many of you guys have just kind of like known something was going on with a friend, or you walk in a room and you get, oh, these people just got in a fight? So what makes you think that you're not infinitely aware of everything that everybody's thinking around you at all times? There was a scientist by the name of Patrick Flanagan there was a scientist by the name of Patrick Flanagan who invented something called the neurophone. And the neurophone is a CD player that emits vibrations. So somehow you press play on the CD, and there's two pads, and it doesn't play any sound. It just emits the vibrations of that sound through these two pads. Now, if you put those pads on your skin, you hear the CD in your head, even though there's no sound playing in the room.
Excellent. That's a very good example of the vibrations that everybody reads and picks up on, in it manifesting into a physicalness, because people don't understand it and they don't see it, so they don't believe it. But if you can prove it on a physical level, then they're like, oh, it really is true. So that's an excellent example. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so with that, it's literally like, what if everybody's been transmitting and you've been picking up on it? Now, how many of the thoughts that go on in your head do you actually think are yours?
I think most people think, they think all of the thoughts that go on in their head are theirs. I think that's a huge blocker and a big stopper, as you would put it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, well, and it would keep you having the same life that everybody else is having here, basically. Because if you're picking up on everybody's thoughts and everybody's energy and you think it's all you, well, then you're basically just fitting into being part of the norm. And how many people do you know that are actually happy, like really joyful on this planet?
It's huge in people that they know, families, friends. You're right on.
Yeah. So with this conscious experiment called Asking Who Does This Belong To for 3 days, it's like what you're doing is you're shining your light of consciousness on your own thoughts, and you don't have to know who it belongs to. All you have to do is ask for 3 days, because what you're doing is you're empowering the consciousness of the thought forms. Hey, who does that belong to? And it goes, oh, and it flies away. And
so would it be? I have a question. Yeah. Then I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but I want to make this very clear for everybody. So what you're saying is for 3 days, you question thoughts that come into your head and basically say, does it feel like this belongs to me? And
actually,
if it
more like just asking who does this belong to, because if we go into feeling like, people have the association or definition of themselves as far as their feelings. So if you just ask who does this belong to for every thought, every feeling, every energy, literally for 3 days, it's like you'll have a completely different conscious experience of your life by the end of 3 days.
So just simply ask the question and then see and let it flow out, because most of the time you'll notice it'll just flow out.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing is there's also a clearing statement in Access Consciousness that I can give you guys. I probably can't explain it all totally. I'm sure I can't because we don't have enough time. But I'd be happy to give you this clearing statement. So if it feels like anything is stuck, you can actually have a way to clear it so that you don't have that programming in your field. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. I think that'd be amazing.
Okay, cool. So the clearing statement in Access Consciousness is right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, POC and POD. I'll tell you what it stands for. All 9, as in the number. Shorts, boys, and beyonds. And it's like Access Consciousness was founded by this man named Gary Douglas about 25 years ago. And he was doing these clearings, but he was running all these questions, and it was taking like 7 to 12 minutes to clear any issue. So finally, he's like, let's make this faster. How about we use one word to represent all of this type of question and another word to represent all of these questions. So in essence, what you're doing is you're unlocking all the judgments that you have about whatever it is you're clearing, the rights and the wrongs and the goods and the bads. POC stands for point of creation. So it's like if you're the creator of your life, then can you also change any part of it? So what we're looking at applying our consciousness to there is to unlock the seed of limitation wherever we planted it so that we can let go of everything, the seed and everything we've built based on it ever since then. So POD stands for point of... Yeah, go ahead.
POD stands for... really interesting. Yeah, keep going.
POD stands for point of destruction, which stands for everywhere you have been destroying you in order to hold that limitation in place. So it's like if you have the point of view that money's hard work and you have to earn it and you have to work hard, well, then that doesn't allow money to show up easily in your life. So you've actually been destroying your possibilities and destroying your future by maintaining this money is really, really hard work. So we want to let go of the seed, which is the point of creation, and then we want to let go of everything, everywhere you've been destroying you in order to hold that limitation in place, which is all the points of destruction. So short stands for what's meaningful about a limitation and what's meaningless about it. Boys just basically stands for anywhere you planted the seed, like even if it was in the womb or pre-verbal, like where you don't even know where it came from. We want to actually get to that information too. And then beyond stands for the feelings and sensations that take you out of being present and take you out of choosing. So it's all of the, like if you've ever gotten a cell phone bill that was $1,000 and you had a $35 plan and you're like, oh, that's all the feelings that are associated with the limitation that we also want to clear so that you have choice to choose whatever life you'd like to have.
Right. Okay.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, that's very, very cool. And I think that that's a lot of good information. You're just saying so much good things that I think people can learn from. And it's really, so far we've learned about questioning where the thoughts are coming from. The statement that you've given to help try to neutralize that in a sense. Understanding that a lot of people in our lives are limited and full of fear, and they're not moving forward in the way that they should be moving forward, so we don't want to pick up on their vibrations. Again, we are totally in sync with this, me and you. And so one of the things that one of your assistants kept talking about, which I think is important to what you do, is access bars. She said something about offering access bars, and what is an access bar?
The access bars are this hands-on body work where we work on your head, and it's like our brains are like these computer systems that store all this information. You know, every past experience that you hated, or, you know, everything about you that you judge, and all of this stuck energy. So when we actually put our hands on these different points on your head, they correspond to different areas of your life, and it's like deleting the trash in your filing cabinet or defragging your hard drive, to where your head can be totally clear and not have any of those charges in it. So it's kind of like it allows you to basically empty the trash in your computer bank so that you can run off of choice instead of past programming. And they actually put their hands on you and do some releasing and relieving of the trash, as you would call it. And so that's something that they're going to be doing at the expo in Honolulu? Yeah, they'll be doing 20-minute sample sessions. And I actually don't know how anyone lives on this planet without bars. I feel like walking up to people and being like, are you okay? Because I wouldn't want to be here without it. It's like the worst you'll feel like is you had a incredible full body massage, and the best is your whole life will change. So, well,
then is this something you need to do in person versus you don't just? I mean, it's an actual hands-on. So they either need to come to where you are or to where your facilitators are to actually have that done.
Yes. Yeah, it's a hands-on body process. And what's amazing is, we'll also be doing a class in Kauai, a full-day class.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, you'll actually be a practitioner, which means you can work on other people and charge money for it. And then we have, they have trades in some of the different islands where you just get together with a bunch of friends and you all work on each other and undo all this limitation. Now, I've seen people lose like 8 pounds within the week after having their bars run once. It's like I've seen people, their entire lives change. It's this really bizarre process, and we've had everyone under the sun come to Access. People have owned healing centers for 12 years, and they're like, there is nothing like this out there.
And this was invented by somebody. I mean, somebody invented this, but you. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, 25 years ago, that was the first Access class was the Access bars that Gary channeled. So, and
that's what There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been using it ever since.
On Kauai, what are you doing on Kauai that people might want to come? Like, you're doing a bunch of stuff on Kauai, and this is next week, right?
Yeah, it's so exciting. So we'll be doing a Access bars class, which at the end of the day, you'll become a practitioner. You'll get your bars ran twice that day, full sessions, and you'll also receive 2 sessions. which is like the cheapest facelift you've ever gotten. Like, people look like somewhere between 5 to 10 years younger after the first day. So it's like a spa treatment for your being. It's like it lightens everything, and all of a sudden you're walking around like the Neo in the Matrix going, oh, my God, I'm not affected by anything. I feel great. Like, I feel like I'm untouchable. It's really cool.
Well, and you have different packages too, right? Like you have, and they can find this on your websites that are attached on this Blog Talk episode. We have all the links to your websites, and they can find more information on your websites for the Kauai thing as well, or email you, I would assume, and they can email them information on what you're doing in Kauai, because it also, what I find interesting is it also looks like you have different like packages or different things that you're doing, so that it's not like you have to enroll in this one specific thing, correct?
Well, the Access Bars is actually the first Access class. So because what occurs is we run these clearing statements, which is like offloading all this stuck energy. Now, at some point, your body is going to be like, okay, I can't take any more change, because these tools are really powerful when we get moving. So if you take the bars, then you actually have a way of catching your body up to the new you. So bars would be the first class in Access. We also have an intro night, which is really awesome too if you want to get a bigger taste of this information, and it's how to not take on other people's energy. So it's an incredible event.
Everybody should take that class. I'm just saying. From a psychic standpoint, the stuff that I see, yes, that is, I think that should be a requirement as a human to just do that.
Absolutely. Well, yeah.
One of the other things I wanted to fit in, because I found a little fascinating, and I think that my listeners will find fascinating, because I feel like I don't have enough time with you, but we're going to do as much as we can here, is you also have written a book or have like a class or something on called The 21 Secrets of the Universe.
Yeah. Right. That is
so can you tell everybody a little bit of what that's about?
Yeah, it's a beautiful 21-day program that basically walks you through step by step this unraveling of all the stuck energies and gives you tools to consciously create your life. So people have been starting Facebook groups and doing it together. It's kind of been this worldwide movement. People are just going nuts over it. They've done it 3 to 5 times. They've taken 90 days to do the program because they get so much out of each day. They don't want to move on until they've really received all the information. So, and you can go to 21secretsoftheuniverse.com to find out more about that. It's quite amazing.
So do you notice that people tend to come in with the same stuck stuff, or that they're mostly hung up on thinking or just getting the vibrations and thoughts in from everybody around them? Is it a combination of everything?
Yes, and yes. Yeah.
Well, that's clear.
Yeah.
Because I noticed the same type of thing, and it's just interesting to hear your viewpoint on that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what I like to call this reality is bad training. It's like the insane asylum that everyone's committed to, and nobody even knows it. So when I found these Access Consciousness tools, all of a sudden I was like, oh, my goodness, I'm learning how to get out of my own way. It's like we've all been trained to judge ourselves, to make things significant and meaningful, to live in the answer instead of the question, to take all kinds of points of view, which is all limitation. We've all been trained basically backwards. So by giving you all these questions and tools and information, you can finally get on your own side, bat for your own team, and have your life expand and be able to choose a life that's even more phenomenal than anything you can even imagine in this moment. So,
yeah, I think people settle because everybody else is. and they assume that life is supposed to be hard because, and it's stuff I teach all the time. They've been taught this from a very young age from their parents and from their mentors and teachers and stuff. And I think that those people don't necessarily teach you the wrong perspective on purpose. I think that they're just teaching what they know or what they feel like is the truth. And so everybody just follows along this path of life is hard and money's hard and love is hard and, you know, all of these things. So they begin to create their own reality as in this really huge struggling universe. And like you said, then you have most of the thoughts and the vibrations that come into your head aren't even a match to who you are, which when you're not a match to who you truly are on a soul level, that's actually what throws people off into sicknesses and illnesses, you know?
I'm so with you on that. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it would be really beneficial if a lot of the listeners want to learn how to remove those blocks with money or love or anything really. You mentioned weight and that sort of thing. They can go to your website and check out some of the stuff that you have available. Or is everything like paid courses? Do you have any free stuff that they can get samples of, like videos or radio stuff? Because you do a radio show too, yeah?
Yeah, I have a radio show on the World Puja, which is P as in Paul, U, J as in Jam, A.org, worldpuja.org. And that's actually a free show also. And it's Access Consciousness with Rikka Zimmerman. Also, if you go to rikkasplayground.com, you can log in for free to become a member. And as soon as you do, on the front page, there's a bunch of free audios. So you'll get a foundation of this Access Consciousness work. And, I mean, even those first, those free audios will completely change your life. Like, you'll know stuff. And you'll have all kinds of amazing tools to change anything.
So if they just go to Rikka's Playground, Rikka's Playground, and then sign in and become a free member, none of that costs you anything. There's some valuable tools right there that you can start using right away to help with money, love, whatever those thoughts are that you need to release, and you can help to move forward in that area. And then I assume that you have a newsletter and stuff that you'll send out from there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you being on the show today, especially with the time difference and all of that. I think that everyone will have an amazing, wonderful time in Hawaii and in Honolulu and seeing all your stuff, and hopefully they'll go to the website and sign up and, get some of those tools, because I think that what you're teaching is really beneficial. I don't think, as we go into 2012, I don't know if you're noticing this, but as healers or spiritual teachers, things are shifting. I think people are becoming more aware of their spiritual side of themselves, in a sense that they're actually going to be more motivated to shift some of those things. Or, because 10 years ago, they're going to be going, oh, yeah, 98% of the thoughts that are in our head are not ours, right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But people really are starting to understand it more. And from a psychic standpoint, I mean, that is no joke. People don't realize how much that they pick other people's vibrations and other even thoughts, and how much, stuff that goes on in there that's not attached to who they are. I do, because I deal with it every day, and I have ever since I was little, and I'm expected to because I'm a psychic, right? Mm-hmm. But I teach people all the time. I teach them all the time. You are just like me. You have the same abilities, everything. You're not going to probably be a professional psychic, but we're all the same. We're all spiritual.
Yeah. So exactly. Well, so maybe we'll give the listeners a little bit of a roundup of a few tools that they can start using today to begin shifting any energy. So, the one is asking, who does this belong to, for literally 3 days. And it's like, if you take this on as a 3-day challenge, you will be so surprised and just excited at how different your life feels. I mean, we've had people get out of chronic pain from this one tool, or get out of depression from this one tool, or find out, oh my gosh, poverty has never belonged to me. It's never been mine. Or judgment. Wow, I've been asking who does this belong to. All it does is fly away. So what if judgment doesn't belong to me either? So it's like, and my facilitator was so brilliant because she said, well, you're not powerful enough to do it anyway, so don't worry about it. And I was like, he's so empowerable. And she's like, and I know you love being controlled by everybody else's thoughts, so no big deal. And I was like, I hate being controlled. So I did it for 5 days. And literally those 5 days, by the end of it, I just knew that none of the crap I thought was mine, that I was even judging myself for, was even mine in the first place. So the first tool would be asking, who does this belong to, for every thought, every energy, every feeling, every emotion, everything in your system for 3 days, so that you can actually separate you from the world around you, and you'll know what's yours. You'll know how you feel without any of that information in your system. And it'll be the first step to consciously create a phenomenal life, and one that's greater than anybody else is willing to receive. Okay, so the other piece of access is this beginning to live in the question. Because when you ask a question, does it actually create more possibilities or less? More, right? Does it also open the doors?
There to be more boys, yeah.
Yeah. Does it also open the door to a different awareness?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And the other thing is, if ask and you shall receive is actually true, then what if by asking a question, you're actually starting the change and you're starting the receiving of whatever it is you're asking for? So starting to ask questions, a few of the questions we love to ask all the time are, how does it get any better than this? Because if you ask, how does it get any better than this? Yeah, does it actually create something greater showing up?
Right. That's really good.
How cool is that? And then also incorporating this question of what else is possible, so that you're never limiting your possibilities. You're always just asking, hey, what else is possible here, whenever you feel stuck in any way. The other thing is the mantra of Access Consciousness is all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And that's basically all of life. So the good, the bad, the ugly, all comes to you with ease, joy, and glory. Now, you might find that if you feel stuck in any energy and you don't know what tool to use, you can just repeat that mantra in your head, and you'll find that the energy begins to shift.
That's really good stuff. I mean, because that's true. It does begin to shift, and I think that you tap into something else. It shifts your awareness to possibilities instead of limitations. Mm-hmm. It does a lot of different things. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like retraining your whole system to function from consciousness, from expansion, from what else is possible, from this ever-expanding life, instead of the way this reality trains you, which is judge yourself and the people around you and, and limit everything that you could be. And how many of you guys have always known that you were meant for bigger and greater things? How many of you guys have this awareness in your body and being that's like, oh, my God, I know a greater life is out there for me. And if that resonates with you, it's like you may want to check out this Access Consciousness stuff, because it's like it's the weirdest, wildest, wackiest stuff that works, like, really well. It's like, wow, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's very, very cool, and it's all just moving people forward instead of even staying where they're at, you know?
And it's like it hands the whole system, you get handed the whole kit. So then you have your choice to be who you'd like to be. You have your choice for your future. You get to basically use it in any way you choose to create you any way you'd like to, which is just such an exciting, wonderful possibility. It's like, oh, yay.
Yeah, that's empowering for people when they feel like that they have a choice and that they have a creation, which is true. I mean, it's, I guess, unbelievable for some people. And what I always tell them is baby steps then. Because once the little baby steps, once they start getting some acknowledgement that they're changing their perspective and they're letting those thoughts go out of their head and they're sort of creating their future and taking control, they begin to feel more powerful, and then they begin to believe it snowballs into a huge thing if they just take the baby steps, because some people will be like, oh, that's not going to work. I'll just be like, try one or two things and then call me or email me and tell me that did not work for you. And they never call or email. I'll say, tell me more, So those, it's all excellent tools. It sounds like really good stuff. Do you have more, or is that the main ones?
Well, I don't want to give them too much information.
Yeah, that's the gist.
This well is very deep. It's sort of like, instead of playing in the kiddie pool, it's like jumping in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. Access consciousness, it's like there hasn't actually been anything we haven't been able to handle or change.
Right.
Which is kind of amazing. Because the thing is, each of us are the creators, of our own lives. So it's like if you're asked the correct question to unlock the energy, you get free. How cool is that? So, and you can also use that clearing statement anytime. The right and the wrong, right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, POC, POD, shorts, boys, and beyond. And literally, if you go to Rikka's Playground, you can get a whole bunch of free stuff, and you'll find out more as it resonates with you. You'll find out, wow, does this align with me?
It's a learning process, too. I think that the other thing is you're not going to change overnight necessarily. I mean, you're going to have some really great things that happen overnight, but you want to continue on to like different levels or getting into it deeper. It's a process. You're retraining yourself from something that you've learned for 20, 30, 40 years of your life. You're retraining yourself a different direction. And so I like to explain to people that, you want to stick with the process and understand it's a journey. It's a process. It's a way of life. It's a way of living. Just like living a healthy lifestyle, it's like it's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. So people really need to embrace it as a lifestyle and not like a quick TV show or something, right? They need to understand you implement it in.
Yeah, and the most, what's brilliant about access consciousness too is it can be incorporated into anything. So every, thing you've already done, all of any other modalities or healing modalities or whatever, it's like you'll find that it'll just enhance everything. So it's like it can be added to, therapy or private sessions or healing work or, it's very integrative.
It's a bonus.
Very easy.
Yeah, it's a bonus that are ridding yourself of everything else. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. We're at our time. I appreciate it very much. What you're doing is wonderful. I find it very funny and ironic the universe brought us together since we teach the same thing, but it's under different language, I guess I would say. And so keep up the good work and good luck in Kauai. You're going to love it. It's gorgeous there. And so maybe we will talk again soon in the future. Everybody go check out Rikka Zimmerman's Access Consciousness stuff, her website. All the links are on the Blog Talk Show station. Get your free tools. This kind of stuff works. I teach this kind of stuff all the time. It's amazing. It will change a lot of things for you, especially if you're feeling stuck. The only way to go is forward. So thanks again, Rikka.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you for everything you're being and doing to change the world, too, because it's working.
Oh, thank you. All right. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Until next time, we will not be back on next Friday. We will be back the Friday after that. So go ahead and check in with us then. Until then, aloha.
Every day when you log into ChumbaCasino.com, the ultimate online social casino, you get a free daily bonus. Imagine if you got daily bonuses in other parts of your life.
I chose French fries over loaded French fries. I asked Stuart from accounting about his weekend, even though I don't care.
I updated my operating system without having to call tech support.
Collect your free daily bonus at ChumbaCasino.com now. And live the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.